welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the Amex Platinum versus the Sapphire Reserve. Why should you care? Because we're going to break down perks, pros, and cons. We're going to tell you exactly what's what. Woo! Most credit card videos assume one thing, that everyone watching is flying 3 times a month, sipping airport cocktails, and somehow never paying for groceries. That's not real life. Real life looks something like this.
Living in a big old mansion somewhere, soaking it up in a hot tub with my soulmate.
One big family trip a year, maybe one work trip if you're lucky. A lot of gas, a lot of groceries, a lot of Amazon boxes. If your wife is anything like my wife. And a credit card bill your spouse actually looks at. So today we're going to take an honest look, a real comparison between these two cards, not which card is best on paper, but which card makes sense depending on how often you actually travel. We're going to compare American Express Platinum and Chase Sapphire Reserve. Also, keep in mind that the terms and conditions might be different from when I made this video, so check all the terms and conditions before ever signing up for any credit card. These are two premium cards, two very different lifestyles. One traveler flies once a year, the other flies every month.
Yeah.
Same cards, completely different outcomes for what you're trying to achieve. Let's define our two people. Person one, once a year traveler. Frankly, this is most adults. One big vacation, as we said, family vacation possibly, Disney, Europe, Caribbean, or visiting family, probably flies economy. This is somebody that cares more about hotel comfort than airline status, doesn't want homework just to use their card. This person wants simplicity, value without stress, a credit card that works quietly in the background. Now let's look at person number two, an every month traveler. This is a road warrior, lots of work trips, conferences, client meetings, layovers, delays, and also, of course, family stuff, personal vacations. Knows the airport Starbucks layout by memory. Probably like my wife, just ordering the thing online, not even waiting in line for your Starbucks at the airport. This is a person that wants lounge access, airport comfort, travel protections, and perks that stack over time. Same cards, but totally different math. Let's start with Amex Platinum for the once-a-year traveler. On paper, this card looks unbeatable. I've got one myself. But here's the truth most videos skip. The whole annual fee problem. It actually just went up here recently. $695 is a psychological hurdle if you don't travel often. There are credits. Yes, people will say it pays for itself, but you got to use it for it to pay for itself. Let's be honest, if you're only flying once a year, only really traveling once a year, a light traveler, lounge access sounds nice, but you'll use it twice maybe? Airline credits require planning. Hotel status helps, but not dramatically on just one trip, 1 or 2 trips in a given year. Basically front-loading effort for benefits that you are using sparingly. The credit trap, Amex Platinum, it gives value if you remember the enrollments. You actually have to sign up for them. This is something I learned the hard way. My wife had to remind me to sign up for these different things. I didn't realize I had to manually enroll. You got to track monthly credits. You change behavior to justify the card, meaning you're going to spend more, you might travel more, make the Amex Platinum worthwhile. Once a year travelers don't want a system, they just want a card and they don't want to be pressured. Forget to use credits, that fee starts feeling loud, and loud fees don't survive household budget conversations. Now the Sapphire Reserve reality for a once a year traveler, that might be the thing. If we're talking about the same person, this card might be boring, but in a good way. Why does it fit better? $300 travel credit is automatic. There's no enrollment gymnastics like what you have with the Amex Platinum. It works on flights, hotels, Uber, parking, tolls. You don't need reminders. You don't need spreadsheets. There's no pressure with the Sapphire Reserve. You spend money, it credits back, it kind of just runs on autopilot. Pretty easy to manage.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day.
Once a year travelers usually want one solid redemption. They want some flexibility. They don't want to learn transfer partner charts at midnight. Chase Ultimate Rewards points, they're easy to use. They're easy to explain. They're very easy to justify. Easy. This card fits folks that want low maintenance, the I don't want to think about this type of mindset, and that is underrated. It's understandable for a lot of people. And so for the once a year travelers out there, the Amex Platinum, it can work, but only if you really enjoy optimization. The Sapphire Reserve really fits real life situations better in that case. not because it's cheaper, it just operates more efficiently for that particular person. Quiet cards like this one, they last longer in wallets. You're not going to get frustrated about the annual fee and all the stuff that comes along with it. The fact that you have to enroll manually, that can be kind of tedious. Now let's switch over to the lifestyles. If you're flying every month, airports aren't exciting anymore. They're survival. You're just trying to get from A to B. You want to take a load off. You want the lounges. You want the perks. This is where Amex Platinum really changes things. It is a big deal. The lounge access adds up. I have young kids. Recently flew with my wife and we were stuck in a long layover, and the lounge had food, it had drinks, and we just went and enjoyed. The lounges have really become a go-to for us in the airport, especially like I said with long layovers. You got food, you got space, bathrooms that aren't gross. So over a year, you might have dozens of lounge visits. You've got real savings, real value, and it compounds. Hotel status actually matters if you're traveling a lot. If you're a frequent traveler, the late checkouts, they matter. The room upgrades, you care about them. You want that consistency. Hotel status, it feels invincible on these trips. On 12 trips, it's really noticeable. Fee is not a giant burden. You're using the credits. The benefits stack passively. If you travel a lot, the Sapphire Reserve is still excellent, but here's the difference. The lounge experience is just less predictable. Priority Pass, sometimes great, sometimes crowded, sometimes non-existent. The Reserve card is a workhorse. It's not a fortress. The Reserve, it's dependable. The Platinum is just indulgent. It just makes traveling, when you travel a lot, it makes it nicer. Monthly travelers start valuing indulgence more than simplicity. You're already exhausted, you're going to want comfort without thinking, or I guess if you are somebody that wants the added perks and some of the added comforts, if you are going to be traveling a lot, that's where the Amex Platinum really comes into play. For frequent travelers, Amex is the main card, Sapphire Reserve is a great backup. Same fee consideration, totally different outcome. Frequency changes everything. So as we said here, there is no best card, just matters how often you travel, how much mental effort you want to put into it, and the annual fee, of course. If you travel once a year, simplicity beats luxury. If you travel every month, comfort beats simplicity. And if your life changes, your card should too. The worst mistake isn't picking the wrong card, it's keeping the right card for the wrong season of life. If this helped you decide which side you're on, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you've owned either card and your opinion changed over time, drop it in the comments down below. That's where the real insights are, and I'd love your feedback. Thanks again for joining me for another Credit Card Dad video. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.